Get access and watch your favorite sporting events on Pilipinas Live with these easy steps. Download via Google Play or App Store. Once downloaded, enter a valid email address. Verify the OTP sent to your email address. Note that the OTP is valid for 5 minutes and for one-time use only. If no OTP is received, you may click on the Resend OTP button. Once successful, create and enter your password. Accept the terms and conditions to complete your registration. You can now log on to Pilipinas Live. Subscribe now for only 149 pesos monthly.
You know what I love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multicam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Get access and watch your favorite sporting events on Pilipinas Live with these easy steps. Download via Google Play or App Store. Once downloaded, enter a valid email address. Verify the OTP sent to your email address. Note that the OTP is valid for 5 minutes and for one-time use only. If no OTP is received, you may click on the Resend OTP button. Once successful, create and enter your password. Accept the terms and conditions to complete your registration. You can now log on to Pilipinas Live. Subscribe now for only 149 pesos monthly.
You know what I love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multicam.
That's on target as well. Contact, put it up, got it to go. Oftana with the two. Decides our boy. That's come alive.
We are more ready to play from the start.
In front of us is talk and text. It's gonna be a battle for us. I think this is what they want.
Ian, Manalo come from behind victory.
Simula pa lang ng seryeng to, it was deemed offense versus defense. TNT, the offensive firepower, shoots right off the roof. Yung Meralco naman, one of the best defenses in the PBA in recent years. But in Game 1 of this semifinal series, it was the hot shooting of TNT, or the high scoring of TNT, that prevailed. Meralco obviously trying to even up the score. Solid 4, race to golden glory. Welcome to Game 2 of the semifinal series between Meralco and TNT. Coming to you from the Smart Araneta Coliseum, Jot Sulit po, together with the Dean, Kinito Henson. The Dean, it's going to be a good battle ahead of us.
Well, offense versus defense, I think more than that, it's going to be a battle of the coaches. Yung strategy. Anong adjustments ang gagawin ng Meralco because they blew a 21-point lead in the second quarter in game number 1. Natalo sila by 5 towards the end. But a lot of things happened in the second half that made it a battle between two very, very intelligent coaches.
Absolutely. And first, we take a look at the bracket. Nakita natin kanina, San Miguel tying up the other bracket of the semifinals.
That's going to be a very exciting series. If it's not already an exciting series. But what I mean is that that series could go all the way to a Game 7. The same thing with this Meralco and TNT, but depending kung anong magagawa ng Meralco in this game number 2. That's going to be a big challenge for the Bolts.
That's right. Well, etong TNT, they're playing some of their best basketball of the conference. We know that there were some struggles early on, some hiccups, pero mukhang peaking at the right time nga etong koponan ni Coach Chot Reyes. They won Game 1, Dean, 100-95.
That's right. For TNT, they have won their last 5 games. Ang Meralco naman, they have won 5 of their last 7. And if you break down the numbers in game number 1, makikita po natin yung free throws disparity. 47 attempts from the free throw line for TNT. Now, in the eliminations all the way to the quarterfinals, ang average free throw attempt sila was only 18.8. But what happened was, when they skewed their offense from outside to inside, they began to be more aggressive going to the hole. That's when Meralco couldn't adjust defensively. They ended up fouling too many times. And when you lose a free throw battle by 25 points, there's no way you can win.
At lalong-lalo na din naging delikado pa or naging dangerous pa itong TNT because umangat palalo yung laro ng kanilang leading scorer in the eliminations all the way to the quarterfinals. Calvin Oftana with a 28-point explosion in Game 1.
Grabe ginawa ni Calvin. Now, he took 5 3-point attempts in that game. He made only 1. That's 25%. But in the eliminations all the way to the quarterfinals, he shot 42.4% from 3. He averaged only 17 points. But a breakout game for him, 28 points in game number 1. That meant Calvin Oftana explored other ways for him to be able to get points on the board.
At syempre, ang TNT kailangan maging handa sa mga adjustments na gagawin ng Meralco. And for more on the tropa, let's bring in Miss Eileen Shi.
Gentlemen, good evening. Pagkatapos ng kanilang slow start the last game, Coach Sandy Arespa-Cochaga credited 2 things that helped shift TNT move things in their favor. Unang-una nga daw dito ay ang kanilang ability to be able to defend individually. At pangalawa ay ang kanilang ability to read Meralco's game. Ika nga ni Coach Sandy, Meralco stayed true to their defensive identity of being number 1 in perimeter points allowed. Binaba nila ang average namin being the number 1 perimeter shooting team from 50 to 23. Kaya naman today, the ask is to stay true to what worked. As Coach Sandy reiterated, defense gave us back our chance the last game. So as long as we defend, we can manage to stay in the game. Balik sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Eileen. We'll definitely take a look at that because TNT was the highest perimeter scoring team. Yung Meralco naman nga, the best in defending the perimeter in the league this conference. But let's talk about the players on the Meralco side, Dean. Etong si Chris Newsome, he was the one who delivered Meralco their first and only PBA championship. However, in Game 1, he was limited.
Only 13 points para sa kanya. As you see the quarterfinals, he averaged 22.5 points. Those were 2-1 games of Meralco over rain or shine. They overcame a twice-to-win disadvantage. But for the entire conference, Newsome is averaging 15.9 points a game and 3.9 rebounds and 3.3 assists an outing. So this is a guy whom Meralco will depend on, not just for his offense, but also for his defense. I think TNT is afraid to go up against the big guards ng Meralco, which is the reason why they skewed their offense from the outside to the inside. They feel they have better matchups on the interior against Meralco.
At kahit nga nalimitahan ng Meralco yung perimeter scoring ng TNT, tulad ng nabanggit mo din, nag-adjust yung tropa and they were able to score a lot inside. Now let's head straight to your Dean's List para sa larong to.
Well, for TNT, they need to be aggressive. Stay aggressive to the rim because they did get those 47 free throw attempts in game number 1. The extra pass off the pick and roll is very important sa kanila. If Meralco is going to adjust in how to play the pick and roll defense, that means there will be some openings for TNT to take the shots from the outside. And I think it's important that they read kung anumang mga defensive adjustments ang gagawin ng Meralco. I have a feeling deep inside, maybe Meralco will experiment with some variations of a zone defense in this game.
And now for Meralco din, anong nasa listahan natin?
Wala nang meltdowns. Nabanggit na natin kanina in the second quarter, Meralco was ahead by 21 against TNT. Natalo sila sa dulo, but they need to also to fall smart, not to give up free throws as many as they did in game number 1. And of course, they need to capitalize on those extra possessions. They had more turnover points, and they had more second chance points than TNT in game number 1. Yet they were not able to capitalize on those extra opportunities. And in fact, in terms of field goal attempts, they were plus 12 in that department ng Meralco. They had a lot more attempts, yet they were not able to capitalize. They've got to be able to do that in game 2.
Well, we'll revisit that list later on. For now, it's time to meet the starters for TNT and Meralco.
Five-time PBA All-Star from Cagayan de Oro City, number 28, Gio Halalon. Shooting guard from Manila, number 15, Jordan Heading. Small forward is a two-time PBA All-Star from Seattle, Negros Oriental, number 8, Calvin Octana. Power forward is a two-time all-defensive team member from Cebu, number 21, Kelly Williams. And at center from San Fernando, La Union, number 45, Brandon Ganuelas Rosser. Coaching the Tropang 5G is Jot Reyes. And it's time to meet the starters for the Meralco Bolts. Point guard is a member of the PBA Clark Bubble All-Rookie team from Quezon City, number 1, Aaron Black. Shooting guard from Valenzuela City, number 71, CJ Cancino. Small forward is a two-time PBA All-Star from Pitik, Ilocos Norte, number 11, Chris Newsom. Power forward is a three-time all-defensive team member from Cavite City, number 7, Cliff Hodge. And at center from Pasig City, number 33, Brandon Bates. Coaching the Bolts is Luigi Trillo. Game officials are Peter Balao, Jenny
Your officials for this game, Peter Balao, Jerry Narandan, Erwin Traballo, and Carlo Vergara. As we now take a look at the starters for TNT, it's the same unit na ginamit ni Coach Shot sa panimula ng Game 1. At ganun din para kay Coach Luigi Trillo for Meralco, the same 5. And that 5 of Meralco, they got off to 38 points in the first quarter in Game 1. Ball is up, game is on. You did mention, Dean, ang ganda ng pag-set ng tone ng Meralco back in Game 1, where they scored 38 points. It was a matter of sustaining that strong start.
On 38 points in the first quarter, but only 33 points in the entire second half. Ito yung atake ni Jordan Heading, known to be a good outside shooter. But yung sinasabi natin kanina, yung aggressiveness towards the rim, yun ang malaking pagbabago ng TNT as you see this incursion inside the painted area and then scoring and getting to the line.
You know, si Heading in Game 1, he only had one made field goal in 5 attempts. But he was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Dito, maganda yung unang tira kaso nagmintis yung bonus.
But I think that's going to be a pattern na makikita natin sa game number 2. TNT going strong inside and trying to find out what they can do in fishing for fouls and going to the line.
Here's Newsub looking to be aggressive. Iwan kay Hodge. Board lang tinamaan ng tira niya, and it's gonna be Oftana coloring that board.
And that's too tight. The defense was too tight. So much congestion inside the painted area.
Looks like Newsum is hurt. Holding on to his left hand. Immediately getting checked by our medic.
But si Oftana going straight to the hole, getting the foul. He's gonna go to the free throw line as the medics are checking on Chris Newsum. But very early, nakikita natin, no? Yung ginagawa ng TNT. This is their second trip to the line in 2 possessions.
That's right. And they're unlocking a new weapon here in the semifinals. A timeout will be requested here, and they will need to sub out Newsome. This is concerning for Meralco, Dean. We've only played 54 seconds.
Exactly. We're only in the first minute sa laro. And Chris Newsome, na nasabi natin how important is his contribution, not only in offense but also in defense. But it looks like he's okay. He's up on his feet.
Well, he's trying to get back in the game, pero I think lumagpas na yung 15 seconds, so he needs to be subbed out. Papasok ngayon si Bong Quinto.
Actually, okay na yung 15 seconds because sa boxing, 10 seconds lang.
Tapos na ang laban.
Ito, meron silang extra 5 seconds. But here's Oftana. A pattern that TNT started sa game number 1, yung kanilang free throws. So, ang dami nilang free throws. Can you imagine sa game number 1? TNT outscored Meralco in free throws made by 25.
Yeah.
Sobra yun. How can you win when you're giving up so many free throws sa kalaban mo?
And Oftana, he was super efficient from the line. 11 of 12. You saw his averages, 18 and a half per game. Pero in game 1, again, a masterpiece for Calvin of 28 points.
Now you notice that yung starting lineups ng magkabilang kopanan, the same as game number 1. But Chio Halalon is in there. But he only played a little over 6 minutes sa game number 1. So he's there to provide some peskiness on the defensive end. But when Meralco starts posting him up, that's when he will go to the bench. Another slash towards the basket.
And Jordan heading. A fantastic finisher. Tapos may tira rin sa labas. He has a complete offensive game.
At nawala na yung three-point shooting ng TNT. They don't need it. And, you know, from the eliminations of the quarterfinals, TNT took 43% of its shots from 3. But in game number 1, it was down to only 32%. Ang laki ng diferensya. And that means Coach Chot Reyes is making a concerted effort to take away the three-point shooting and go to attack inside.
It's the luxury of TNT kasi nung hindi nahuhulog yung tira nila sa labas, they were 3 of 21 from three-point range.
That's right. They only had that kind of performance from three-point distance.
And Hodge will be called for a foul. Unfortunate. Was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, ba't naman nakakuha ng 47 free throws ang TNT sa game number 1? Well, it's because of that shift in focus. If you're attacking inside, you're bound to get some fouls from the defense because in the eliminations to the quarterfinals, can you believe that TNT was averaging only 18.8 free throw attempts a game because they were taking a lot of their shots from the outside?
Well, here's TNT again. Lamang sila dito, 6-0. Heading again. This time it rolls out, pero Halalon trying to keep it alive. Unable to save it. Babalik ngayon ulit sa Meralco. And the Bolts will try to look for their first bucket, their first points here in game 2. CJ Cancino has been having a great sophomore season so far. Has really blossomed into a bona fide offensive option para dito sa Meralco, and they're trying to set him up. He splits the double. Heading ang nakabantay sa kanya. Cancino swings it. 5 seconds to shoot para sa Bolts. Hodge attacks BGR. No good. Hodge was able to save it, but a little too strong. And Meralco's offense is all over the place to start this game, Dean.
You know, we were talking about how Meralco is such a terrific defensive team. Nabanggit mo nga kanina, Judd, no offense versus defense. But in game number 1, and so far in this game, yung depensa ng TNT has been suffocating. Eh, hindi pa nga nakaka-score ang Meralco dito.
Halalon tried to send it out, pero nakuha ni Quinto. Cancino, an open lane. PGR chasing. 2 free throws para kay CJ.
Ang mantra dito ng TNT, no easy baskets. They didn't want to give CJ Cancino an easy 2 points. He'll have to earn it from the line. And talking about Cancino, nabanggit na natin, no? 13 points in the first quarter sa game number 1. But the rest of the way, only 1 quarter, meaning sa second quarter, sa third quarter, hindi siya naka-score. E yan ang yung adjustment na ginawa ng TNT to focus defensively on Meralco's leading scorer.
Actually, siya yung dahilan kung bakit naka 38 points si Meralco in the first quarter. He was on
Grabe yun.
fire.
Oh yeah, 13 points ka. Ang ginawa niya sa 13th quarter alone.
Here's Halalon setting up the table for the Tropa. Heading. Pass almost lost by TNT. They recover. Pero pababa na yung shot clock. Ito si Halalon titira. Over Hodge. Napabanda pa niya yun.
And those are bonus points. Wow, what a shot coming from Gio Halalon.
TNT making 3 of their first 4 shots. Oh, look at Black break down the defense of TNT.
First basket for Meralco. And that's a 4. Malaking bagay talagang. Sorry.
A layup for Aaron Black. Look at him turn this corner, Dean.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, he got himself free.
Hindi mo
for the
kasi
layup.
talaga alam kung anong gagamitin kamay ni AB.
Oh, tama.
He's left-handed, but so comfortable. Either hand, Oftana steps back over Quinto, bucket.
And that's a 3-point shot, and that's a danger sign. Kung kumaka na yung labas ng TNT, anong gagawin ngayon? Adjustment ng Meralco. Will they go outside, stretch their defense? That'll leave the space open for the interior.
Black na naman. That familiar semi-hook. He's got 4 points.
Kanina pala, I failed to notice that CJ Casido did make those 2 free throws, which is the reason why 6 points na ngayon ang Meralco.
Ganuelas Rosser. It's heading open. Wants to show his range. Jordan Heading is starting game 2 on fire. 7 points.
Dalawa na ang 3-point connection dito ng TNT. They only had a total of 3 in game number 1. Yung luxury dito ni Coach Chod Reyes is that with his starting 5, as you take a look at this 3-point shot.
3-point shot hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook.
With his starting 5, that means Nabatak and Pogoy will come off the bench. And that's going to be a very fiery combination.
Ang lalim din talaga nito ng TNT. AP again. He's very aggressive dito sa game 2. Was able to save it to the wrong man. Now TNT has numbers. Halalon. Oh, look at that hesitation. Hindi lang natapos ni Gio. And it's taken by Quinto. Counter-attack ng Meralco. Bong. Out to CJ. Attacks the closeout. Nawala pa momentarily. But he was able to get 2 points.
Aggressive move by CJ Cancino. So Meralco had a little bit of pace that time because they got the turnover. And for Meralco, I think that might be a good adjustment on their part.
Heading again. Man, he's on a mission. 9 points na yan para kay Jordan Heading.
And very quick 9 points para sa kanya. He's attacking from the inside, also scoring from the outside. Here's a steal.
Heading again. Inside to Oftana.
Hindi naman sila nagmamadali.
That's a good decision to reset their offense. Now BGR. Atake kay Bates. BGR finishes through the foul.
Now we saw that in game number 1. Na si Brandon Ganuelas Rosser taking advantage of the defensive lapse ni Brandon Bates. They like that matchup. Brandon versus Brandon and BGR scoring against Bates.
10 na naman ng Tropa. 18-8. Timeout Meralco.
It's all heavy. They're attacking right now with heading, okay? He's inside right now. There's 3 shots.
So Galinato's inside your matchup with Galinato. Okay, you got the other guy. Galinato. Who's the other big? Guys, we need to quicken the plays. It's just we're walking
This is
down.
game 2 of the semifinals between TNT and Meralco. Umuwi si Coach Nenad Vucinic after their last game for the wedding of his daughter and the birth of his granddaughter. They are still finalizing his return but sigurado na wala rin siya sa next game. Now, bago siya umalis, nagbilin siya kay Chris Newsome saying, I will not be there to fire you up, so I need you to take control of this team. Kaya naman coming into today, ang sigaw ni Chris, we need to settle down, prioritize getting the defensive possessions, and show that we learned something from the loss. Chris just got off to a rough start dahil na-dislocate niya ang kanyang left pinky finger, pero naibalik na ito and he will be powering through this as he has been cleared to play again. Balik sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Active consultant, Nenad Vucinic, not available for Meralco this game and the next game. But I feel like you don't need to remind Chris Newsome to be active and vocal.
Oo naman. Nakita mo, na-dislocate nga yung pinky niya, makakalaro pa rin.
Diyan sa sequence na yan nangyari din. And he had to step out of the game. Remember, 11 minutes and 4 seconds pa. Or 6 seconds pa yung naiiwan.
Within the first minute yun, nangyari.
But it's great news na makakabalik daw itong si Newsome.
Well, 10-point lead now enjoyed by TNT. Dadalawang player lang sa Meralco ang nakaka-score. 4 na for TNT. And that gives you an idea of the balance, disparity between those two teams.
At itong opensa ng TNT, it's clicking from everywhere. They're 7 of 9 from the field. Nakakadalawang tres na. And this is gonna be their 4th attempt from the line. Hindi nga lang pumasok for Brandon. That's gonna go to Meralco. Newsome back on the floor. Kailangan siya ng Meralco, lalo na't iniiwan na sila ng TNT here in the first. Yung kanyang katandem na si Banquero is also deployed now by Coach Luigi Trillo.
Galinato on the floor to play center, and that will allow BGR to focus on Cliff Hodge, keep him away from the boards.
Banquero misses. Hodge. Almazan free throw line jumper. That's good.
Now that's the difference between Almazan and Bates. Almazan has that medium range shot, and he can provide a little bit more offense than Brandon Bates, although Bates can give you a lot of intensity in getting the rebounds and defense.
And a miss from Nambatak, his first attempt of the game. Yung pinasok ditong 5 ni Coach Luigi Trillo, yung mga veterano niya na. It's Quinto, fall away. That's no good. Nambatak grabs it. 8 lamang ng TNT. Stingray to heading. Quick trigger on the outside shot. No good. And ball lands out of bounds. Pupunta yan sa Meralco.
You saw kanina yung pick and roll attempt ng TNT. You know, that pick and roll between Jordan Heading and BGR, that's a deadly combination because BGR has a lot of mobility to be able to roll quickly to the basket before the defense can anticipate his roll.
Good defense for TNT. Newsome for 4. That doesn't work. Si Coach Chot naman, pinasok na rin dito si RR Pugoy along with Galinato and Nambatak. Let's see what that does para sa tropa. Here's RR. Nambatak against Banquero. Nowhere to go. He finds BGR. Outside shot is good. That's the 3rd triple of TNT dito sa first quarter. CB. Now it's Hodge. Grabe yung effort doon ni Cliff.
Carving some space for himself and getting the inside 2 points. Nakita natin kanina si Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser hitting it from the outside. Now in game number 1, he played a total of 35 minutes when in the past his average minute was only 21. So you can see that because of the mismatch that he creates, either at the 4 or the 5 spot, he's gonna get a lot more playing time.
And you know, these two teams, Dino, ang ganda ng mga kwento nitong dalawang teams of what they've been through in recent history, even going back to last season. Well, Coach Shot upset about something as Meralco is starting to come alive. They get to within 7. 30-second timeout lang to. Coach Shot livid. I think about the defense that TNT has shown in the last couple of possessions.
I think also the lack of rebounding. Ito makita natin yung ginawa ni Bong Quinto. You like that combination in the backcourt for Meralco because they have a lot of size with that kind of a backcourt with Newsome and Quinto. Tapos ipapasok mo pa si Cancino. So they can actually play a 3-2 zone defense if they choose to do so. But we haven't seen any kind of adjustment on the defensive end so far.
Ang dami kasing versatile defenders din ito Meralco dito. You talk about Newsome, sa Gilas nga, he's one of our primary defenders. Bong Quinto can also guard multiple positions.
Yung versatility, I think that's now a trademark of the modern-day basketball player.
Hindi na pwedeng isang position lang ang kaya mong batayan no?
Multiple positions eh. In fact, yung mga malalaki sa NBA as well as in Europe, they have polished their outside game. They're not just inside players, they're also outside players that gives a lot of versatility in terms of how the coaches will react with their rotations.
Pogoy, that's a veteran move. Created some space with his body and then scored.
And if you're Meralco, you do not give up that kind of space down the baseline. And for someone like R. Pogoy, he knows how to take advantage. Bibigyan mo siya ng puwang. That close to the basket, he's gonna find ways to score.
Skip pass to Quinto. Bong could not hit the three. Siya man lamang ng tropa. Ito si Pogoy, stop and pop. That doesn't work. Pangga ang Galinato and Quinto, foul called on Henry.
Now you're seeing with the shock troopers ng TNT on the floor, binibilisan nila ang laro. Every time you have shock troopers on the floor, binibilisan nila ang laro because they want to be able to set the pace.
We actually talked about it. We told them, put yourselves in the position of Meralco, put yourselves in their shoes. They are chomping at the bit to get back at us. And you saw that with the kind of energy, execution, even their three-point shooting in the first half. They were really primed for it. So hopefully in game 2, we are more ready to play from the start. Because I don't think we can bring this kind of game to game 2 and expect to come up with the same result.
Coach Chot Reyes, the reigning PBA Coach of the Year. Nakakailan na siya niyan. And you don't win Coach of the Year as many times as Coach Chot has won it without being able to make the right adjustments within a game. At yun nga yung ginawa ng TNT in Game 1. You didn't mention it, Dean. Down by 21. Nagawan pa ng paraan manalo.
Yan ang nakikita natin yung mastery ni Coach Chot Reyes. Yes, nakagawa siya ng paraan. He tweaked a lot of the offensive and defensive adjustments nila. At Meralco was not able to come up with the adjustments to combat yung ginawa ni Coach Chot Reyes. But let's see what Meralco can do in this game. Right now, they're down 9.
They've been struggling from the field.
Yeah.
6 of 18. In Game 1, they shot 65% from the field in the first quarter.
And that's another shot coming from Avdana. Well, in game number 1, Meralco had the edge in so many departments. They had more perimeter points, paint points, more assists, more second chance points. They should have won that game. Kung titignan natin yung mga statistics, the key statistic that they didn't win was in the free throws.
That is true. At ang laki ng disadvantage nga nila. The Dean has mentioned it numerous times earlier dahil imagine 47 free throws ang naitira ng TNT. 37 of them went in.
And that's because of the coaching adjustment na ginawa ni Coach Chot Reyes.
14 on the shot clock para sa Bolts. Newsome receives. Paharang sa kanya si Pogoy. Nunu. Baseline spin. Drew the foul and he'll have 2 free throws.
Newsome hindi pa nakaka-score. That time, he wanted to go post. He wanted to attack the defense. Two defenders came after him, but because of his mobility and his ability to spin away from the defender, that's the reason why he's at the line, but he missed his first free throw. He already took a 4-point shot kanina that missed.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how bothered he is, by that finger. If it is bothering him at all, it's just unusual for Nu to miss from the free throw line, but he makes up for it.
10-point lead.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. TNT trying to add more to their advantage.
They're spreading the floor. TNT, no player is posting up. Now Galinato trying to create space inside.
Batak misses. Quinto with a running start. Nusam will finish for 2.
Good defense. Tapos nag-transition ang Meralco. Yun ang binigit natin kanina. I think Meralco needs to put some pace behind their attack. They got to be a little more aggressive in preventing TNT from executing the plays.
They actually have 8 points off of TNT turnovers now, so that's a bit...
Here's the move of RR Pogoy against Banquero, and he will score. And they like that matchup. They were isolating or semi-isolating RR Pogoy in that matchup against Banquero.
Lose some this time, going to Hodge. Babangga si Cliff. Pader yung binangga, pero nagawa pa rin ang paraan ni Cliff.
Nice roll to the basket by Cliff Hodge. Two-man game for Meralco. Chris Newsom always a threat, which is the reason why nakakawala yung kanyang papasahan.
Half a minute left. Oftana has it against Quinto. Tutulong si Galinato.
There's a switch.
Oh, Oftana got rid of Almazan's defense and shot right over him.
Now that versatility of Calvin taking a step back because hindi nakareact si Almazan on the switch. Not quick enough to be able to stop that fadeaway.
Oftana with 9, but here's Meralco looking to have the last say here in the first.
Paubos ng oras.
Almazan has to put it up. And
it's too late. It's too late.
They're going to review it, but from our lens, it won't count. But let's talk about TNT. Jordan Heading and Calvin Oftana scoring 9 points each, Dean, dito sa first quarter.
I'm more impressed with the way they play defense. Granted, those two guys scored 9 points apiece, but to hold Meralco down to just 19 points after they had 38 points in the first quarter in game number 1, that's a trademark. That's a big feather in the cap of Coach Shot Reyes in emphasizing defense very early in this game number 2.
Eto nga, hindi na umabot yung atake ni Almazan. It was confirmed by our officials that basket will not count, so it's TNT up by 10 at the end of 1. TNT entered this series #1, league leaders in perimeter points. In game 1, they were held to just 23 perimeter points kasi yung percentage nila from 3-point range, out of those 21 attempts, 3 lang pumasok.
Exactly. But not only that, ang emphasis nila was not to go outside. They wanted to go inside because in the elimination of the quarterfinals, nabanggit na natin ito kanina, 43% of their attempts were from 3. But in game number 1, it went down to only 21%. Kaya ang laki ng disparity, no? You can see that Coach Chot Reyes made a concerted effort to move their offense from outside to inside. As a result, ang dami nilang free throw attempts. Kasi they were more aggressive to the hole. And while they lacked in perimeter points, boy, they got 25 more free throws made than Meralco. That was the game.
But check this out. Here in game 2, 23 perimeter points for the entire game 1. 17 already in the first quarter alone of game 2. So, bumalik na yung weapon na yun para sa TNT.
Diyan nakakatakot ang TNT. Because if you stop them from the inside, then they will go outside. And then if you go outside with your defense, then they'll go inside. Yun ang mahalaga sa TNT because they are so adjustable with so many things that they can do.
Oh, what a pass! And Hodge was able to finish over the defense of Galinato.
Now, Meralco is seeing that Galinato is a little step slow in protecting the rim. And that's why they're able to find Cliff Hodge to score from the inside against Galinato's help.
Galinato is a force underneath. He's a brick wall. Pero kung shot blocking, mas shot blocker si BGR than Henry. Here's a three, and it will hit nothing. That's going to be a violation, a turnover for TNT.
That's good defense by Meralco. That time they took away the inside game. They forced TNT to try to take the shot from the outside. Toto Jose is now in the game.
In game
is
one?
Is he in the game? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. For a while, I thought, wala. But yes, he is. And that gives him a little more ceiling in terms of getting the rebounds. Here's Chris Newsom hitting the shot. Now, Almazan and Toto Jose together, that gives Meralco a lot of ceiling, a lot of muscle underneath the boards.
Jose played over 14 minutes in game one. Oh, but Oftana, he's not missing. He literally has not missed 4 of 4 from the field with 11 points.
First player to reach double figures sa laro. Now, the reason why Meralco has those two big guys inside, they want to protect the rim. They don't want to get hurt by too many inside points, as what happened in game number 1.
Oftana pulls up. That's his first miss. Walo ang abante ng TNT. Newsom, he's starting to settle in, made his last shot.
Now, there was a roll by Almazan, got the mismatch, but the pass didn't go to him. But Chris Newsom, he'll go back to the line. Binabasa din ni Chris Newsom kung sino pwede niyang pasahan. That time, on a mismatch, Almazan could have gone straight to the hole with Pogoy defending him. Pero mas nakita ni Chris Newsom yung advantage niya in going strong to the hole. That's why he's at the line.
Eto, puntahan natin si Eileen.
Gentlemen, coming from the latest huddle, ang sigaw ni Coach Luigi Trillo, we can't forget about the bad start as long as we already start catching up. He wants them to treat it similarly to how TNT was able to change the complexion of the game with defense. Kaya naman ika nga niya, we need to defend better, especially on the pick and roll and on transition. Cliff can call out if kinakailangan mag-switch, but they cannot fall asleep defending the weak side. Instead, ang kailangan nilang gawin is increase the pace but also make sure to stay calm. Balik sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Well, eto Meralco, bumabalik na because now they're within 6 again.
Well, they're back to playing good defense. At sabi nga ni Eileen, no, yung pace, so important for them. If they can get the stop, then they'll try to run. Here's Kelly Williams. Oh, what a shot!
The three-point shots are falling here in game 2 para sa TNT. That's their 4th make from downtown. Banquero for 4. Could not answer back.
Kelly Williams hitting 36.4% from beyond the arc.
Oftana, pasa niya, natapik. Meron nakuha naman ni Enciso. Now it's Pugoy. Atrasan si Rios and RR Pugoy. He has that post-up game that's rare for guards like him.
And he thrives in an isolation. And whether it's Jansen Rios or Chris Banquero, he's gonna attack.
Newsom.
Oh, what a score! What a score!
Initcha na lang yun ni Nuno. Pumasok pa and he's gonna have a chance for a three-point play.
It's almost as though Chris Newsom has Nenad Vucinic's voice in his ears.
Can you check kung may earbuds na suot ito si Nuno?
Look at the way he's attacking. So aggressive. And he'll be at the line for a possible three-point play. And there it is.
Newsom, you know, of course he's one of the best scorers of Meralco, but hindi yung dami ng puntos na nasuscore niya importante when he scores. When Meralco needs a pick-me-upper, it's usually Lou who provides. But they have to stop Pugoy.
Well, they're not able to stop Pugoy. either isolation or driving strong to the hole. And the reason is because he is such a threat from the outside. He draws the defense towards him and then he blows by that defense trying to stop his three-point shot.
Pero have the ball. They're going to drive. Don't go right there, but on the dribble, get there already. Get there early. Yeah.
Palit tayo.
No rejects, ha? Yeah, okay. But get there early, okay? Oh, okay then. Oh, sa data drive niya, kanan. Oo, kanan. Oh, nababalikan niya sa kanan. Akin yan. Oh. Akin yan. We're good, okay? So, when we're getting transition, and we're getting gold medal shots, okay?
RR Pugoy back in game 1 had 16 points, may 3 steals pa. And you know, pagka the stakes are higher, maaasahan mo lagi ito si RR.
At hindi lang yun, he's now coming off the bench. Can you believe the luxury of Coach Chot Reyes to have a former Gilas player like Pugoy coming off the bench and providing the points now. Pugoy started the first 2 games in this conference, but since then has come off the bench. No, check that. He started the first 5, 6 games, but he has not started the last 4 games.
RR Pugoy remains to be one of the most important pieces of this TNT squad.
For sure. And in this conference, he has scored in double figures in every game except 1. And that was when he scored 9 points in that loss to Barangay Ginebra. So very consistent siya in terms of putting up the points.
You know what's amazing with this TNT squad team? Sabi mo nga, no, coming off the bench na si RR Pugoy, it's like they revamped, retooled, pero hindi mo naramdaman kasi kadalasan pag nagre-rebuild ang team, magsa-struggle, nagkakaroon ng mga losing conference or seasons. TNT never really had that. They seamlessly transitioned into the new make of this squad.
I think a big difference has been Jordan Heading with his inclusion here in the lineup of TNT. Ang daming pwedeng gawin ni Coach Chot Reyes in terms of switching players.
Jose open. That's a 3. Doesn't go, pero Bates nakakuha ng offensive rebound. Nakakarami ng Meralco dyan. And Newsom is fouled on that blitz from BGR.
That's 3 team fouls now against TNT. Meralco has not fouled in this quarter yet.
You know, you take a look at the percentages right now, Dean. Meralco isn't so bad, 42%. Ang masakit, TNT is 67% from the field. Tapos may turnover pa ang Bolts. Enciso on the run. Simon to Pugoy. They will reset.
And TNT is playing at its own pace. And look at RR Pugoy.
Oh, what a move by Pugoy!
And he will,
but
he will not score.
And Pugoy is
man
hurt.
down. Man down. RR Pugoy is writhing in pain. It's 5 against 4 on this end.
Newsom for 3.
Hindi pa pumasok. There's gonna be a foul. I think may pushing sa underneath. But Pugoy is down. Now he was going one-on-one and he was taking on all comers. Pati si Brandon Bates, inatake niya.
Actually, napakaganda yung galaw eh.
Oo.
Kumagat yung dalawa, kaso hindi pumasok.
Tapos naipit siya. Naku, naapakan ni Brandon Bates yung paa.
Hindi pumagaan itong si Brandon Bates.
Oo. Ito, tignan natin. Lumundag. Naku, naapakan.
And that's definitely where Pugoy felt it.
It looks like he's okay. He's running. Pugoy is running.
Might have been the initial shock of having a 230-pounder on your foot. Pero the good news is, Pugoy is okay.
Parang semento yata ang ankle ni RR Pugoy. Hindi nagiba. I think Coach Chot
Matibay ang tao eh. Ito si Pugoy. They reviewed it for AUB. act of unsportsmanlike behavior, but hindi naman sadya. It was announced that the criteria for an AUB was not met, so action just goes on. Bola ng Meralco.
I don't think Brandon Bates deliberately put his foot
knockout play. Do some to black.
Yeah.
Hindi lumulobo tong lamang din ng TNT, pero hindi rin mailapit ng Meralco yung sarili nila.
Aaron Black against Simon and Cizo. There was no switch. Here comes
over Jose.
Inside the paint. Points scored by TNT once more.
AB has Simon on him. Tutulong si Bates. The double is there. Bates, initya na lang. He was looking for an option to pass. No one was there.
A good defense also by Cobontin. He sacrificed his body to make Brandon Bates miss that shot. Here's Cobontin again.
Williams hesitated. Lets it fly. Knocks it
got it
down.
again. That's 2 triples by the machine gun. At 43 years old, this guy is still knocking him dead.
And that's definitely a big weapon for TNT. Look at yung perimeter points nila din. Nalagpasan na nila yung perimeter points nila in Game 1. Cancino dribbles it off of his foot, and that's another turnover for Meralco. Pang-5 na nila.
Well, Cancino struggling big time, not only to preserve his possessions, but also to get off decent shots. Maganda yung dinedepensa ni heading sa kanya.
And take a look at this. Cobontin, the drive, the kick out. No one there initially. At kahit may bantay, still Kelly hitting a 3-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
Rayson is in the game for Meralco. And Coach Luigi Trillo looking for combinations. His lead is up to 13 points now.
You know what's crazy about Kelly Williams? Yan, very much improved his range. Pero pag makakita yan ng mintis na kaya niya i-put back dunk, he will still sky high to do that. Here's Cobontin, his 3. Doesn't work. AB, out to Rayson.
That's a 4.
That's a 4 indeed.
Papasok lang ni Kurt Rayson, but this guy, he's Mr. Instant Offense. Papasok yan, and he's not shy to pull the trigger.
Nambatak back on the floor. Kelly again for 3. Again! Pangatlong tres na ni Kuya Kelly.
What an explosion by TNT. Hindi lang si Kelly Williams, but napagit mo kanina yung perimeter points ng TNT. I mean, they're just outdoing themselves here from the outside.
What a drastic improvement mula sa Game 1. That ball will stay with Meralco. TNT is just shooting the lights out here, Dean.
And CJ Cancino forced to play defense against Kelly Williams on the outside. Wala. Not enough of a closeout.
Yung kanina, Cancino medyo maliit. Yung pangalawa, almasan na, tinirahan pa rin. Rayson. Shoots over Halalon. Kurt was feeling it but missed that shot. 12 lamang ng TNT. Here's Heading. Sees an opening but misses it. Rayson on the attack. Ang daming nakitang nakaitim. And so he hit the brakes. Meralco will reset.
And that's a matchup in the backcourt to watch. Halalon versus Rayson.
Amazan. Lost control of it. Hodge puts it up. He'll head to the line for 2.
Meralco staying in the game out of sheer guts. Yung ginagawa dito nilang getting the 50-50 balls. A lot of hustle plays. Cobontin called for the foul. Here's Cliff Hodge.
Din meron ng 10 offensive rebounds etong Meralco. Ang mahirap nga lang, ang negative side of that is they've only scored 4 points na second chances. So they're getting it back. They haven't really been able to convert.
Yun ang sinasabi natin kanina sa ating Dean's List, that Meralco needs to capitalize on the extra possessions. And nakita natin yun sa game number 1. They had more second chance points, they had more offensive rebounds, but they were not able to capitalize on the extra possessions. In fact, they had 12 more field goal attempts, yet natalo sila.
And that's why they're trying to get back, even up the count in the series. This is a best-of-7 semifinals. Dun sa kabila po, tapla na ang Ginebra at SMB, 1 apiece. Heading for 4. Still hitting it. Heading is converting from everywhere on the floor.
Nawala yung head check. They wanted to hard show, and then when they saw that Heading was in the 4-point line, pinabayaan. And you don't do that against someone like Jordan Heading.
Newsom was blocked. TNT on the attack. Oftana, iwan kay BGR. Sinalubong ni Almazan. BGR will have 2 free throws. TNT has been playing on an electric pace. And they've been lights out from the field. 6 na 3 na din in only 11 attempts. And this is a 30-second timeout na hihingi ng Meralco. TNT already has 50 points. Meron pa tayong just a little less than 4 minutes left in the first half.
And they scored 54 points in the second half of game number 1. Eto, labang sila by 14. They'll go to the line for 2 more free throws.
Well, first, take a look at this defensive stop brought to you by Pioneer Elastosil. Selyado ang bubong, anumang panahon. Talagang selyado yung passing lane doon.
At kapapasok lang ni Simon Enciso, and he got that block of Chris Banquero. He timed this jump exactly at the point when Banquero was thinking of releasing the jump shot. Kanya nag-hesitate. Yun, na-block tuloy si Banquero. Great job by Enciso in timing that block.
You take a look at the makeup of this TNT roster. I think that's the story. Guys like Simon Enciso, Gio Halalon, even guys like Mike Nieto, Kevin Ferrer. These are players who took a different role when they wore that TNT uniform, and they fully embraced yung bagong binigay sa kanilang responsibilidad. Now, on the other side, for the white shirts, Meralco has been looking for a spark, both offensively and defensively. We've said it multiple times that they're one of the toughest defensive teams in the conference. However, the numbers will argue dito sa game 2. They've allowed TNT 51 points, pwede maging 52 pa, and the Tropa's shooting 65% from the field.
That's an amazing clip, showing the accuracy and also the rotation na ginagawa dito ni Coach Shot Reyes, having fresh legs on the floor at all times.
AB, ikot ng bola ang Meralco.
And they're forced to set up because nandun yung depensa ng TNT.
Quinto. That's a tough shot over BGR. And Aram gets that board. First rebound for Aram.
And Jota just got a message from our good friend Jade, watching us on YouTube all the way from San Antonio, or rather Corpus Christi, Texas. And that goes to show you yung global reach ng PBA.
We thank you all.
YouTube, yeah. Maraming salamat, Jade. Kumusta kayo dyan sa Corpus Christi?
Salamat po sa lahat na nakatutok dito sa RPTV. At kung saan man kayo nanonood, sana nag-enjoy kayo dito sa semifinals. It's TNT up by 16. Drop sulit po with Dean Quinito Henson and Eileen Shi working the sidelines dito sa Game 2. Penalty na yung TNT, kaya tawid agad tayo dun sa kabila for Bonquito free throws. And there you see someone who is in a Meralco uniform, as he's one of the imports of Meralco in the EASL in Vahedi. One of the toughest guards in the Asian region.
And leading scorer of the Iranian national team.
Yeah.
And it looks like we will be facing Iran in the second round of the World Cup Asia qualifiers. Here's Boy Aram taking the three-point shot.
52-38. Nagmintis nga doon ng TNT. But Meralco hasn't been able to capitalize on their stops.
You see what the Batang tried to do?
Trinay i-save yung bola kasi hindi pa siya nakaka-sub in eh. Hindi pwede yun, Ray. But
Parang volleyball yun
we'll head into a timeout. Pagbalik natin, papasok na si Stingray.
Even if it's not now. As long as it's a middle ball screen. Middle ball screen is red, Middle ball screen. On the side, so we're wide.
Let's take a look at the three-point shooting of TNT in Game 1. 3 of 21, 14% din dito sa first half. 6 na yung pinapasok nila in only a handful of attempts.
Sunod-sunod yung mga tiro ng TNT, and that's the kind of shot that Meralco's giving. Meralco got burned with a lot of incursions by TNT in game number 1, leading to 47 free throws. But now, TNT has shifted gears, and they're now moved their offense to the outside, and they're clicking on all cylinders.
And Ray ng Batak na hindi pa masyado nag-iinit dito itong si Stingray. But tatlo dun sa 6 na tres ng TNT. Guess who hit 8 points? Although wala pa siyang tres, but he has relentlessly attacked the defense of Meralco.
But TNT has taken 13 three-point attempts. They had 21 in game number 1, so still, they're not really focusing a lot on those 3 points. If nandun yung pagkakataon na tumira, titira sila.
Hodge gets away. Hodge has 10 points. 12 naman ng TNT. 2.5 minutes left in the second. Ng Batak, labas kay Kelly. Ayaw ng tres ngayon. Kelly, iwan kay Poy. Eram, wide open underneath.
What a play by the big guy, Kelly Williams.
Didn't imagine, dapat retired na yan about 3 seasons ago, right?
Naman. And then he was persuaded by Coach Shot Reyes not to retire or to unretire.
Actually, it might have been more than 3 years ago.
Oo.
Pre-pandemic pa yata yun, hindi na nag-unretire si Kelly.
But now he's 43 years old. He is now the oldest player in the PBA, but it doesn't show.
And I think he doesn't regret that decision dahil pagbalik niya, nakailang kampyonato pa yan.
Oo.
He definitely still has what it takes to mix it up with the youngins of the PBA.
Here's Arar Pogoy. Now he's waiting to be doubled.
Nirespeto na ni Almazan yun and nahuli niya yung tira ni Williams. Kelly, the pass to Oftana.
Hindi lang pumasok.
Butiki ang tinamaan ni Calvin doon.
But that would have been a highlight.
For Kelly sana yun, yung highlight.
Behind the back pass.
I think Kelly has definitely found a fountain of youth. Well, TNT, 14 points pa rin ang abante dito. Quinto forces it into Oftana. And a foul is called on Calvin.
And Meralco staying aggressive. Kumukuha sila ng mga puntos sa ilalim, going to the free throw line. Coach Shot Reyes disagreeing with the call. You saw him on your screens. And think of it, yung TNT nakabalik from 21 down in the first game. Dito, yung lamang ng TNT, it has been biggest at ilan na ba ang biggest ng TNT?
16 points.
16 points. So, that's 5 less than 21.
And the turning point, nagsimula nung second quarter ang TNT sa paghabol in game 1. But it was in the third quarter, Dean, when they limited Meralco to just 13 points.
That was unbelievable. And then in the fourth period, Meralco could only score 20. So that 33 points in the second half for Meralco, that's a testament sa depensang pinakita ng TNT in game 1.
Yun na nga, yung nilalatag natin dito, opensa ng TNT versus depensa ng Meralco. But in game 1, it was the defense of TNT that won it for them.
Here's a free throw scored by Meralco. Yung 54 points scored by TNT in this first half, yan din ang na-score ng TNT in the second half of game number 1. Nambatak hindi pa yata nakaka-score dito. Si Nambatak, yes, he's still 0.
He's trying to get his. Stopped on his tracks. Ito si Pugoy, tumingin sa orasan. Babangga, hula ni Hodge.
Hop, tumama sa referee. Shot clock violation.
We hope the fan is okay. And that nice gesture from
hindi pala tumama
Banquero.
sa referee, sa fan pala tumama.
Nakailag. Si referee kasi umilag eh. Natamaan tuloy yung fan.
And yung staff ng PBA, si Leo, is now calling on a medic just to be able to check whether she's okay, that fan.
In the meantime, TNT, 2-on-1 break.
2-on-1. And he will
Pugoy
not score.
misses. And Meralco was able to salvage that. So Meralco ngayon, kaya pang lumapit. Newsome, nowhere to go. Hodge gives it to Banquero. CB splits the double. And a
he'll
foul.
go to the line. Imagine yung Meralco, only one foul in this entire quarter. At ang TNT, way over the penalty now.
Heading, manghihinayang ka dun sa fast break na yun. It was a clear 2-on-1. But Pugoy just, maganda rin talaga yung depensa ni Newsome. Reading what the TNT wanted to do well.
Well, I think Pugoy was able to get away with a lot of ISOs kanina. Pero ngayon, dino-double team na siya wherever he is. And that's the kind of respect that Meralco has on Arar Pugoy. Unti-unti, binabawasan ng Meralco before the half ends. That's 2 out of 2 for Banquero.
And they get to it in 11. Half a minute left. Nambatak. Kelly libre na naman. Williams again! That's his 4-3 in the first half.
Napapabayaan eh. And you have to respect his shot. That's the machine gun for you. Never mind if he's 43 years old, may tira pa yan.
Newsome working against Nambatak. 2 to shoot. Nunu to Hodge. Lays it up over Aram.
And he got the foul.
May pito pa doon, but first they're gonna review if it was before the buzzer. Look at his Dean.
Ito yung pasa, manggagaling kay Chris Newsome. And yun ang sinasabi natin about Newsome. No? He knows exactly where his teammates will be. The basket is good. That's a conversion. And that shot went in or was released before the lights went on. At may bonus free throw pa para kay Cliff Hodge. They're getting the lion's share of free throws.
Oh, yeah. And now Hodge at the loneliest spot in this Coliseum, alone at the free throw line. Trying to make this an 11-point game.
Yun.
He does so. And that's it. For the first half, Meralco nailapit ng konti, although it's still an 11-point game for TNT.
Well, I think this is not a comfortable lead for TNT. Nakita natin, nakabalik ang TNT sa game number 1. Makakabalik na ng Meralco, but Jordan Henning has been the man on fire.
Siya ang ating Babad Player of the Half, brought to you by Devant. Enjoy unforgettable TV Babad moments with your family only with Devant. 13 puntos in
9 of them coming in the first quarter. Yung pag-atake niya, that actually started his offensive thrust bago siya pumukol sa labas.
That's right, and he was the party starter para sa TNT, and that's why they're ahead by 11 at the end of the first 24.
All right.
Smart Araneta Coliseum para sa tapatang Meralco at TNT. This is Game 2 of the semifinals of a best-of-7 series at currently nangunguna ang TNT 1-0. Tuloy-tuloy rin ang kanilang aggressiveness and competitiveness because at the end of the first quarter, leading nga sila 29-19. They were able to create that distance against Meralco. So at the half, nangunguna pa rin sila 57-46. Mamaya aabangan natin kung anong adjustments ang gagawin ng Meralco. But going back to TNT, one of their greatest players will have the luxury of having his jersey retired. I'm talking about Ranidel de Ocampo. Jersey number retirement ceremony happening January 9. This is the semis game 3 and it will happen halftime of the first game. This is Meralco versus TNT at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. So kita-kits tayo dyan, magiging solid yan. At syempre, speaking of solid moments, meron rin kaming isang hinanda para sa inyo. So tingnan natin at panoorin natin ang ating Solid 4 experience.
Hi, I'm RR Pogoy, and these are my solid 4 moments in my PBA career. Number 1, siguro, simulan ko sa no rookie year ko. Thankful ako, lalo na kay Coach Nash, kasi ginamit kagad ako. And then, nakuha ko yung Rookie of the Year, 2016, 2017, yung mga ganun. So, first one ko yan. Next is yung first championship ko. Sa Pabol pa yun, All Filipino. Kami nila Coach Chot. Third is, yung naging parte ako, na Mythical 5. Second Mythical 5, parang 2022 ata yun. Ganun, mga ganun. And then, pang-fourth ko is, yung kasakit ako, tapos nag-comeback. 2 championship, isang Mythical 5, 5,000 points. Doon, nakuha ko lahat.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Newsom, and these are my solid 4 moments. One of them that comes to mind is my first PBA game ever. We lost to San Miguel, but I had one of my best career highlights that game. It was a dunk that introduced me to the PBA, I felt. And yeah, from that point on, it's just a lot of people knew who I was just from that first game. So that's 1. 2 would have to be maybe my first finals appearance. Didn't expect that my team would go from 1 win in All Filipino to making it in the finals just 2 conferences later. It was a roller coaster of a ride for that season, but I think it was that season that taught me that you can never give up on pursuing a championship, because one conference you can be at the bottom and the next you can be at the top. Though we lost in the finals, it was just a valuable lesson that I took with me everywhere after that. Third would have to be my Gilas stints. The multiple gold medals that I've received, but one that really stands out for me is the Asian Games gold medal. That was something that hasn't been done by any of my colleagues here in the PBA, other than the ones that were on my team with me. So that was a very special moment for me, very special moment for my family, very special moment for the Philippines, and I think that's definitely up there in the top. And then my last one would have to be Meralco's championship. Ever since I got drafted by Meralco, my only dream has been to give Meralco the first PBA championship, and we completed that dream back in 2024, June. And I played really well that series. It was against San Miguel, the team that I played very, very first in the PBA. So it was a really fulfilling moment for me, for my teammates, and for the Meralco organization. So definitely that would have to be it. And those are my 4 solid moments in my PBA career.
Screen provided by Ralph. Crossover mula kay Abariento. Showtime! Just incomplete control of that situation. RJ Abarientos, that skill level, pinakita niya kung gaano siya kagaling one-on-one. It's so difficult to stop him one-on-one. Porquito, pull up, no. Tatakbo si Noko. Adriano! Oh! Sige, nga ba yun? Meron pa rin. Still have to do. How can you retire when you can still do things like that? Nokum. Look at Norwood! On your head!
Wow, that's dunk number 2.
Both put-back dunks. And this one came with a foul.
Still able to elevate, Judd? Si Gabe Norwood.
My goodness, Gabe Norwood.
We're only in the third quarter.
Umupo sina Thompson at Rosario. Baltasar got the shot!
Oh!
Bastos jam! That was filthy, Dr. J.
Yeah, gotta give it to him.
Naglakas ng galit sa rim itong si Baltasar.
Shot. Holt gets a touch. 6 seconds remaining. Stephen Holt goes to Abarrientos. Goes to Holt. Holt for the win! It's gone! NSD will head into the semifinals!
You know, if you look at this game, Carlo, seemed like almost every player had a time to shine for Barangay Ginebra. We saw Jeremiah Gray, we saw RJ Abarrientos, we saw Japet Aguilar at the beginning, we saw Scotty Thompson, but in the end, the biggest play, the biggest moment of it all belongs to Stephen Holt.
As they punch their ticket into the semifinals, courtesy of that game winner coming from Stephen Holt.
It's halftime inside the Big Dome in the TNT Tropang 5G, up by 11 points, 57-46 in Game 2 of this best of 7 semifinals. John Sulit po together with the Dean Kinito Henson and Eileen Shi. And Dean, grabe yung opensa ng TNT on display in the first half.
But I thought Meralco also did a good job of trying to counter that because in the second quarter, they were outscored only by 1 point by TNT. At ang nangyari doon, parang yung ginawa ng TNT sa Meralco, ginawa ng Meralco sa TNT. Why do I say that? 12 free throw attempts by Meralco in the second quarter, and only 2 for TNT. That was the reverse of what happened in game number 1.
Pero ito yung kailangan natin pag-usapan. Kelly Williams entered the PBA in 2006. Was Rookie of the Year that season, 10 championship. And also won the dunk contest twice. Ang dami nang na-achieve in his lengthy PBA career. And 20 years after he entered this league, here he is in the semifinals of the 50th season of the Philippine Cup. And he's hitting threes to put TNT on top.
He's already in double figures with 12 points. And yung kanyang three-point shooting is just uncanny. And for someone who made a living inside the painted area because of his muscle and his heft and his ability to play the center position, now he's developed tremendous range from the outside as well to complement yung kanyang inside game. And Kelly Williams has been a big factor kung bakit lamang ngayon ng TNT by 11.
You know, maybe Kelly isn't exactly machine gun anymore, but he's definitely a sniper. And apat dun sa 7 tres ng TNT galing sa kanya.
Makikita natin, no? Yung disparity in three-point shooting. Yung Meralco, ni isa! Wala pang three-point shot. And they've tried 6 times from that arc. Now, sa field goal percentage, ang baba ng Meralco. Ang taas naman ng TNT. Now, both of them have attempted 39 times from the floor, but yung percentage ng TNT napakataas. That's 56% compared to only 38% from the other side.
Bumaba na nga yun ng second quarter, and it's because so many guys are contributing for the side of the tropa.
Tatlo na ang double figures for TNT, and that's Jordan heading with 13. Kelly Williams, as we mentioned, 12 points. Calvin Oftana, 11. Nambatak hindi pa nga nakaka-score, and yet they've already scored 57 points. That's 3 more than what TNT scored in the second half of game number 1.
And for Meralco, meron namang in double figures. That's Hodge and Newsom. But now we take a look at the Dean's list. Unahin natin ang TNT.
Well, for TNT, 2 check marks and 1 X mark. They've been able to stay aggressive in going to the rim, especially in the first minutes of the first quarter. Yung extra pass off the pick and roll, they didn't need to do that because they've been getting a lot of good looks, and they've also been able to read the defenses quite well.
That's right. Well, TNT, that's why they're ahead by 11 points. Ito namang Meralco, what do they need to fix, Dean?
2 X marks para sa kanila. They've been able to foul smart because kukunti lang ang mga free throws na ibigay nila sa TNT. But yung avoiding the meltdown, I thought there was that meltdown in the first half of this game, and they have not been able to capitalize on those extra possessions. Now they've gotten 11 offensive rebounds in the first half and only 2 for TNT, but yet yung nga, no, hindi sila nakakapag-exploit yung advantage nila in getting those offensive rebounds in extra possessions.
I'm curious to see and hear from Eileen later kung ano yung mga adjustment na gustong gawin ng Meralco. From your lens din, anong kailangan nilang tutukan?
I think it's important that they continue to stay aggressive as they did in the second quarter. I thought they played mano a mano against TNT. Hindi sila masyadong naiwanan. In fact, as I mentioned, no, they were only outscored by 1. But I think it's important that they focus defensively on the big guns of TNT, meaning Oftana, maybe taking a closer look at how they should defend Kelly Williams from the outside.
At some point in the first half, TNT was shooting 67% from the field. And you would think na kung ganun kainit yung tropa, baka blowout na talaga yung laro. But no, the biggest lead of TNT was 16, pero nanalapit naman talaga ng Meralco, and that's what the Dean is saying.
Well, yung 56% shooting ng TNT, no? For Meralco to have a chance to be able to win this game, they've got to be able to bring that down to maybe 45%, but certainly not anywhere close to 50% if they want to win this game.
You know, Jordan Heading, he has 2 hats. Sometimes he wears his playmaking hat. This time, he has the scoring one on. Aaron Black mukhang natapilok doon. He's hobbling a little bit, going back down on D. Nahawakan niya yung kanyang left foot. In the meantime, Oftana trying to work with Kelly. Calvin, nakalusot! Nahanapan pa ng paraan yung left-handed layup.
Napapag-usapan natin si Jordan Heading as you see that basket scored by TNT once more. But Heading, you know, he had a very slow start this conference. He missed 2 of the first 3 games ng TNT, and in his first game on the floor, he scored only 1 point. So he was coming off an injury, coming off a layoff, but you know, he's certainly peaking at the right time.
Yung tres nga lang na Meralco din, ayaw pa rin mahulog. The fact that they haven't hit a 3-pointer in this game, how big of a factor is that? As we say that, TNT hits another one.
Well, I think that, you know, in terms of being a factor, it gives a big plus on the defense ng TNT, because if they're saying that Meralco is not hitting the shots from the outside, they can clamp down inside and make it difficult for the bigs like Cliff Hodge to score from the inside. But that time he scored.
And Hodge has been the guy consistently scoring para sa Meralco.
At nakikita ng Meralco, hindi tumatama yung mga tira nila sa labas. They've got to be able to improvise and find ways to score, put points on the board. And that's why Cliff Hodge is so important, because aggressive siya in trying to get those points close to the basket.
Usually, sinasabi natin, bonus na lang yung mga points ni Cliff, but he's the one leading Meralco right now with 15. But still, no stopping Heading.
Well, Heading now with 17 points. He has scored in every quarter of this game so far.
This is now back to its biggest lead for TNT at 16. Hodge na naman against a smaller Heading.
Cliff Hodge once more. He's got 17 points, so he matches Jordan Heading's point total.
Nambatak nakisali na din.
You know, there's a reason kung bakit Nambatak is starting here in the second half at hindi si Gio Halalon.
Can you believe that's Stingray's first 2 points dito sa game 2?
Hindi nga siya naka-score nung first half. But you can expect more big things coming from him.
Banquero, pinag-isipan yung 4, kicks it out to Black. It's Newsome for 3. Meralco still shooting blanks from deep. Nakauna na si Oftana, defying the defense of Newsome.
Without a dribble, Calvin Oftana getting the outlet, going strong to the hole. 2 points para sa kanya. No need to dribble. Okay yung 2 points.
Now the new biggest lead of TNT. 18 na to, and hihingi ng timeout ang Meralco.
We're back and you're still watching the 50th season of the PBA Philippine Cup. Ito nga ang Game 2 of the semifinals between TNT and Meralco. Now, being down 11 at the half, ang sigaw ni Coach Sandro Soriano is we need to improve our ball screen defense. We are just allowing TNT to score individually and off our ball screens. Kaya naman, kitang-kita rin that at the half, in unang-una ang TNT when it comes to perimeter scoring 35-12. Now to remedy this, ang gusto ni Coach Sandro Soriano ay yung i-direct yung sense of urgency in trusting and executing the game plan. As he says, we are missing easy shots. So we need to keep the ball moving and speed up offense. Back to you.
Thank you, Eileen, for that report. Well, ito nga Meralco, one thing that pops out is they have 12 offensive rebounds pero 6 lang yung second chance points. They've had opportunities, like you said, you put it on your Dean's list, Dean. Kaya lang, tulad din sabi Assistant Coach Sandro, hindi pumapasok yung mga easy shots nila, mga tutukan.
Yun ang sinasabi natin kanina, no? You've got to capitalize on the extra possessions. And nakita na natin yun sa game number 1.
That's right. And, well, Meralco, again, in the third quarter of game 1, they were limited to 13 points. Yan ang iniiwasan nila ngayon. Gusto nilang mabaliktad yung kwento na malimitahan naman nila itong TNT.
Sabi nga natin, no, dapat walang meltdown itong Meralco. But let's see what the Bolts can do in this offensive.
Ganda ng ikot
That's an
ng bola.
extra pass.
Wow.
That's the way to do it. To try to take away yung depensa ng TNT. The extra passing, getting that nice assist. And that should also boost the morale of this team. They can do that on a consistent basis. May laban dito ng Meralco.
A little too aggressive nga lang on defense. Natawagan ng foul si Quinto. But you like that still. If you're Coach Luigi, you want the energy to pick up para sa Bolts.
Now they have to do it on the defensive end. Yung energy na sinasabi mo, Judd. That has to be there as well.
Ito si Oftana, atake baseline. Dinala pa sa kabila pero nagmintis.
That's the stop that Meralco wanted. And then can they capitalize?
They wanted to get it to Newsome pero
they want to attack the mismatch of Newsome against Nambata. Ito na. It's one-on-one. Let's see what Newsome can do.
3 to work with para kay Newsome. Pinagpag si Stingray.
Oh, what a shot.
That's what they wanted to do.
One-on-one move by Chris Newsome against Nambata. Nawala si Nambata doon. And Newsome getting the shot. A little bit of momentum now for Meralco. They need to build on this.
Nabubuhayan na rin yung mga fans ng Meralco here inside the big dome. But here's TNT countering. Nambata na wala nang pupuntahan. 2 seconds for heading, puts it up. Oh, BGR with a big offensive rebound. Oftana, money on the 3.
What a big basket. Ang ganda na sana ng depensa ng Meralco. But that offensive rebound, the BGR, opening up an opportunity for that outside shot.
And Coach Luigi Trillo is still in the middle of the court. He was just called for a technical dahil sumugod na nga, unhappy about what he felt was a missed call in that previous possession.
Technical foul has been assessed on Coach Luigi Trillo, who's manning the fort without active consultant Nenad Vucinic.
Pero meron namang biglang, dahil may nabakanting upuan doon sa bench ng Meralco, kita mo kung sinong umupo din. Norman Black, Coach Norman Black is sitting on the bench. Usually nasa likod yan eh. So he's getting help, si Coach Luigi Trillo.
That's a good observation. Of course, we know that Coach Norman has big loyalty to Meralco. And si Coach Norman, by the way, super congratulations.
Oh, yes.
Ang ginawa niya sa Southeast Asian Games, hindi madali yun.
Congratulations and thank you for bringing glory to the country.
Coach Norman, boy, you defied the odds. The home court bias of Thailand got the gold with a kind of like a ragtag team, huh, Jack?
Yeah, well, yung sinasabi ni Poy, di ba, they were Poy Eram na parang third team sila, but I also agree, I also have to say, those players deserve to be on the national team.
For sure. Oh, yeah. Ang sabi nga nila, no, Team C yun?
Oo.
Hindi naman.
Humble lang si Poy. Here's Oftana. Masyado malakas. Meralco trying to bridge the gap. Newsome on the run. Nunu. Huli ni BGR!
What a defense na pinakita ni BGR. Tiniming niya yung block eh. At alam niya, susugod si Newsome.
Ito ang defensive stop brought to you by Pioneer Elastoseal. Selyado ang bubong anumang panahon.
And that's help defense. He wasn't the primary defender. Look at BGR. He's so active on the defensive end.
And then
siya parang nakuha ng bola.
Bogoy had to pull back. Andun yung mga nakaputi.
Oh, this is a fired up TNT team. Mahirap talunin nitong TNT if they're playing like this.
Hard hit.
It's high energy. Let's see whether they can score here. One-on-one, Pagoy. He likes it that way, but he missed.
Newsome, the forward pass. Quinto gets away with the jam. And that should electrify Meralco for the time being. Newsome and Quinto trying to resuscitate the Bolts.
Nice lead pass galing kay Chris Newsome. Ito si Bong Quinto. Coach Chotre is unhappy because hindi nakapaba sa depensa ang TNT.
And that Tropang 5G lead is now down to 15. CJ Cancino in the elimination round, up until the quarterfinals, naging main man to ng Meralco. He even was the top scorer of the team ahead of Newsome. But pag TNT ang kalaban din, parang kontrapelo siya. Parang doon talaga nalilimit si Cancino. And you know, when he's facing other teams, ang taas ng average niya, over 18. Pero pag TNT, bumababa yung scoring contributions ni CJ.
And in this game, nakaka 4 points lang si CJ. All of those points coming in the first quarter of this game. And yes, he is struggling. And you see Coach Norman Black.
We do have to mention,
now very much involved in the coaching situation of Meralco.
May idadagdag lang sa atin si Eileen.
Jonathan Dean, ito ang unang playoffs that CJ Cancino has more responsibility on his shoulders. At kahit na maganda ang pinakita niya ng elimination, CJ admits that there is a bit of pressure in proving to himself na kaya niya maging consistent sa kanyang performance with the stakes even higher. Ika nga ni CJ, my success during the elims came because Ronde Hollis Jefferson was kind enough to coach me on how to read games during his stint with us. But now to further improve my game in the semifinals, I have to be more wary of undoing bad habits tulad ng nakatayo lang sa depensa at being aggressive with his shots during the wrong time. Back to you.
Baka kaya naman kontrapelo kay CJ ang TNT. Tinuruan siya ni Ronde ng pagbasa, pero hindi tinuro paano basahin yung TNT.
Tinago niya yun eh.
Kaya pala pag TNT, bumababa yung score na. But, you know, we know that Ronde is such a professional and we wish him a speedy recovery dun sa kanyang injury.
Well, he did get his surgery from the #1 surgeon who operates on Achilles heel problems. He did Jason Tatum after all. Went all the way to New York to get his surgery. And yes, we wish him well. And Meralco would have certainly gone sky high with the partnership of Brownlee and the RHJ in the EASL. They did play that one game which they won.
Para lang po sa mga baka nagugulat bakit CJ Cancino at RHJ. Kung hindi nyo po kasi nasundan sa EASL, RHJ actually suited up for the Meralco Bolts. So yun yung kinikwento ni Eileen as Bong Quinto. He had that dunk earlier, Dean. Now he's trying to get a three-point play.
Going up against Calvin Octana, you notice Meralco, hindi nila pinapwersa yung kanilang mga tira sa labas because they have yet to score a three-point shot. Wala pa yata three-point shot ng Meralco, no? Meron na ba?
They haven't hit a single
zero
out of 7 attempts.
Yeah, and this is the old-fashioned way of getting that three-point shot. Go for a three-point play.
So Meralco extending some pressure in the backcourt. Pogoy has it. They see a mismatch. Galinato binapantayan ni Newsome. Henry, a hook shot over New.
Boy, this guy's also all fired up.
Napunta kasi si Bates kay Enciso.
Tsaka kanina he had an entanglement with Chris Banquero. And he wanted that shot. He wanted that basket. Here's another foul. Oh, they score the basket? Sandali, ano yun?
Offensive foul called on Quinto.
Offensive foul against Meralco.
Hinok daw yung braso.
Yeah. And he actually scored on that play. And that shot will not count. Ito yung nangyari. Naku, hinok nga niya. Hinawakan niya. He warded off to get that separation. And he scored, but that was nullified.
BGR. Now it's Galinato. Similar play being ran, and that's going to be an offensive foul. And ngayon naman, si Coach Chot ang hindi masaya doon sa pitong yun.
And referee gesturing to Coach Chot that there was a movement by Galinato so that hindi siya naka-establish ng defensive position. That's why there's an offensive foul. Watch it here. Tama naman yung tawag. Galinato did move. Watch it here. Oh?
Nagkasakto yung galaw nila pareho, but Galinato with his wide body erased Newsome from the frame.
And look at the way they're trapping Chris Newsome to force him to pass that ball. TNT does not want Chris Newsome to get those touches.
Newsome with 13 points. 10 of those he scored in the first half. Nasa kanya ngayon yung bola against Pagoy. There's the switch. BGR on Nunu. Another foul called on Brandon. At kita nyo naman yung reaction ni BGR. Nagtataka kung nasan daw yung foul doon, and he's very unhappy. And a technical foul has been slapped on Januelas Rosser.
Well, Coach Rodriguez also motioning, dapat palitan yung referee. Oh, a lot of things going on here. And this is in spite of the fact that TNT is up 15. Makita natin. On the switch. Was there a foul? Did he impede? Did he impede? I think he did. He impeded the progress of the dribble ni Chris Newsome. Kanya, yun ang tawag. That was a good call.
You know what's interesting din? Si Coach Shot ngayon, humihingi siya pa na sub na on the referee, but that's actually crew chief Peter Balaw that he's asking to be replaced.
Well, that's an emotional
yeah, for sure.
reaction on the part of Coach Rodriguez.
Medyo responsibility mo rin kasi yan as a coach, di ba? You'll tell your players, ako nang bahala kung mausap sa officials.
Look at the hard show. Again, they're putting some pressure on Newsome.
Hodge, missing this time. Rebound Pagoy. 14 ang lamang ng TNT. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. They're putting the ball in the hands of Galinato. And he gets called for an offensive foul.
That's a second offensive foul consecutive against Galinato. He has a lot of power, this guy Galinato, and a lot of muscle. But yung gusto ko dito kay Galinato is that he plays with a lot of intensity, not a high energy, nor the way he went strong towards the basket. Kita mo yung intensity all over his face.
And you don't usually see Galinato putting the ball on the floor. Just a side note din, nakuha ni Coach yung hinihiling niya. There's a referee substitution with referee Narandan. Siya ngayon ang papasok. So it's also like that for our officials. Hodge sa ilalim. There's a revived energy din for Meralco right now.
Oh, I think so. And they're also making sure that they get the passes close to the basket. At hindi nila pinapasahan si Bates. Ang pinapasahan nila si Hodge. But you also notice that Newsome has not been taking the shots. I think the defense of TNT is making sure na hindi siya makakuha ng magandang pagkakataon na makita yung basket. They're forcing him to give up the shot and release the ball.
And you know what? Even with yung kanyang unorthodox na tira sa free throw line, Cliff Hodge is a high percentage free throw shooter.
And in spite of the fact na ang dami niyang ginawang variations in the way he strokes that free throw. Sometimes he shoots with one hand. Let's see how he does it now. Ayun, parang one hand na, no?
Parang iaangat niya with just one hand, and then at the end, iga-guide ng other. He went 1 for 2 dun sa trip na yon. Heading, little hesitation. Huli ni Hodge.
But walang takot dito si Heading, ha? Dalawa yung kalaban niya doon, including Cliff Hodge. who's a tough inside defender.
Well, Heading is feeling it with 17 points.
A lot of guys have contributed to this lead ng TNT. Kelly Williams, BGR, Pogoy.
But in comes Kelly Williams again. Alam naman natin yung ginawa niya in the second quarter.
And Coach Shot certainly knows how to manage his minutes. Hindi siya binababad, but he's there at the right time. Here's Heading.
Williams thought about it. Attacking ngayon. Iwan kay Eram.
Hindi lang pumasok.
But
There's
it's
a second
actually,
chance.
it's Bates who tapped that in.
But yung smarts ni Kelly Williams, faking a three-point shot because that's now heavily respected by Meralco, and then passing the ball inside.
Quinto, babangga, draws another foul. And that's going to be more free throws para sa Meralco. The aggressiveness of Bong Quinto din dito sa third quarter, yan din ang nagbibigay buhay dito sa Meralco.
Also because nakikita niya si Chris Newsom has been very subdued. Because nakatutok nga yung depensa ng TNT sa kanya. But Bong Quinto, he gives a lot of size at his position, whether he plays 2 or 3. Yeah. No, I was just going to say that si Quinto dati-dati was a regular starter ni Coach Luigi Trillo. Now he's coming off the bench. He has come off the bench over the last 7 games ng Meralco.
Ito kasing core ng Bolts, it has stayed the same since their finals runs with Ginebra back in that started in 2016. Yung core pareho nadagdagan lang ng mga CJ Cancino, Brandon Bates, Aaron Black also nung pumasok nung 2020.
Well, Bong Quinto's called for the foul. Nakakuha ng offensive rebound ng Meralco but not able to capitalize. Yung sinasabi natin kanina, you gotta capitalize on those extra possessions, especially when you're down by 14, as Meralco is right now with 146.7 to go in this third quarter.
14 points pa rin ang lamang ng TNT. Aurin, pinasok na ni Coach Shot. Atake kay Cancino. And Aurin misses.
That was a good attempt. Dribble handoff galing kay Kelly Williams.
Cancino wants to take on Kelly. CJ the spin. Huli kay Eram. Heading on the move. Labas kay Aurin. 3 on the way. No. And Bates grabs a big board. Black to Hodge. Aram is protecting that paint.
And they did it without fouling. Cliff Hodges on the floor. Ito makita natin ang nangyari doon. Yung twirl move ni Cancino. Naabangan siya ni Poy Aram. Terrific block. That's what you call solid defense.
Nakatakas ka nga dun sa 6'7" na Kelly Williams. May nag-aabang namang 6'8" na JP Erab.
At ang ganda dito, not only in this series but also the other series, this is a race for that golden glory.
Oh yes.
We're going to the finals of the Philippine Cup on the 50th season. Here we go. That's a one-handed slam.
Off a brilliant play and a fantastic find mula kay Aaron Black. Newsom could not save it. Pero meron lang 13 seconds sa shot clock ng TNT.
Now this lead is 12 by TNT. And you see that wide open dunk shot para kay Almazan. And seeing the way Meralco has not been able to score a single three-point shot, it's not bad that they're only down by 12.
That's true, pero it's also very surprising. Patapos na yung third quarter din, wala pa ni isang make
sa 3 points.
Beyond the arc.
Ayun nga eh. And that's exactly what I mean. They're down by 12 only, despite the fact that wala silang 3-point shot connection at all in this game.
Bagsak si Almazan. Pogoy! Naka-atake doon. Pugoy with 10 points now.
And back to a 14-point lead. Looking for the last shot. They don't want to give another possession to TNT. But for Meralco, they need to score.
There's about 4 seconds in between the two clocks. Pasa ni Black, natapik.
Ang ganda ng depensa. Eto pa.
Oftana will finish with a lift.
Unbelievable defense by TNT, and that has given them a 16-point lead heading to the fourth period.
It looked like Meralco was going to bring some momentum into the final frame. Sabay nangyari to. Agaw and a transition attack for TNT.
At sabi nga natin, what Meralco didn't want was to give another possession to TNT, but they did exactly that.
And with 12 minutes left in regulation, the TNT Tropang 5G up by 16 points.
With hugs, okay? And let's let them switch, okay? And then let's make the pass to Calvin to post Roger. Okay? Now, when Roger posts up, the double is coming from here. So Boy is the cutter. Everybody else, Calvin, Jordan, and Kelly spread. They're spotting up, okay? So pag wala, atake nga. Kung hindi, nandun si Boy. Babasahin ka lang ni Boy. But the key is our defense. Kita nyo, na backpick lang yun. Simple backpick, okay? Dapat nyo, wag ka na lumabas. Almasan, wag ka na lumabas. O, dito ka na sa loob.
Let's look back at the story of the first 3 quarters. 3-point shooting ng TNT. After hitting only 3 in Game 1, siyam ang naipasok nila. Si Kelly Williams na. 4 yung 3 na galing sa kanya. Tapos yung starter scoring nila. Remember that Meralco had 38 first quarter points in Game 1. TNT na yun ang mayagpag with a good start. Behind Jordan Heading, they had 62 starter points. And of course, Calvin Oftana. Another strong performance here pagkatapos ng 28-point Game 1 performance. Yes, 20 points din entering the fourth quarter.
A very impressive and offensive show ng TNT, especially from the outside. And Calvin Oftana providing the fireworks along with Jordan Heading and Kelly Williams. But nabanggit natin kanina, what's even more impressive is the fact that they're playing tough defense. They've held Meralco to only 66 points entering the fourth period. And I think the perfect illustration of their defense was what they did in the last few seconds of the third quarter.
Defense to offense, no?
Nakakuha pa sila ng possession na 19 seconds to go. With the last, and Meralco was just looking for the last shot of that quarter. Nakakuha pa ng basket ang TNT before the quarter ended.
Well, Meralco allowing 82 points in 3 quarters is very unlike the Meralco Bolts that we saw from the eliminations up until the quarterfinals.
Well, especially since Meralco ranked number 2 in defense. You know, at the end of the eliminations, the quarterfinals, they gave up only an average of 89.4 points. Ito, pag-umpisa ng atong fourth period, nakaka-83 points ng TNT. More points coming here from Jordan Heading.
But Meralco, haba pa naman to. May pag-asa pang makabalik. But yung 3-point shot, they might need it at some point here in the fourth.
I think so. Oh, it's such a great equalizer, your 3-point shot, or even a 4-point shot.
But it's still a miss for Cancino. They go cross-court kay Quinto. Aatakin si Oftana. Bong. Nakalusot and got that one to roll in.
Konting tiyaga for Meralco. That's the only way that they can get back in this game. Play tougher defense. Get the stops and then score on the other end.
Williams again. Missing this time, hahabulin ni Black yung rebound.
Yun, nakakuha sila ng stop. Lead is 16. Stutter step motion here. They go for a no, I thought it was going to be a 3. Naagawan pa. And that's going to be it. Oh, a kick ball. I think Meralco will keep.
At pagkatapos magmintis ng Meralco dun sa unang 10 tira sa 3, you can see they're very hesitant to let it to shoot from outside now, Dean. Cancino. He's trying, sinusubukan niyang buhayin yung sarili at yung Meralco here in the 4th, Dean.
And it's so important also that you have a mobile big man. Kasi that big man, si Poyaram at this stage, providing the hard show. And it makes it difficult for Meralco to execute because that ball handler all of a sudden is faced with 2 guys. And Cancino getting the free throw, and Poyaram is going back to the benches. Minutes have been managed very efficiently by Coach Reyes.
Makibalita tayo din kay Eileen.
Jot and Dean, sa kanilang huling huddle, kalmadong-kalmado si Coach Luigi Trillo as he stayed positive and said, keep your heads up, the energy is good. Nagkakaroon lang tayo ng turnover, so we need to read the defense better and zoom back. Dagdag pa dito, he would like to start running plays for CJ and the Bigs off a pick and roll during the last few minutes in an attempt to shift things in their favor. Balik sa inyo.
Thank you, Eileen. Well, now, ang TNT, up by 15. Inaalagaan talaga nila itong double-digit lead. Heading, still aggressive. Iwan kay BGR. Now it's Oftana with a difficult 3.
Kumontik pa pumasok yun. But that's a stop that they needed.
Kung gusto makahabol ng Bolts, they have to start now. They got to chip away on this 15-point advantage.
And they have to execute quickly. Time is not on their side. Here's Almazan. Will he score? He does.
Soft touch for Raymond.
So ito yung sinasabi natin. Unti-unti, sinatsaga ng Meralco. Lead is down to 13. It was 18 just a while ago. Makakuha sila ng another stop dito. They'll be back in the game.
AB and Williams nagkabuhol doon at mukhang tinamaan si Kelly. So, i-review ng ating officials if yung foul needs to be elevated to more than a common one. Pero mabilis yung review. Palagay ko mukhang magiging common foul lang to.
I think so.
9:43 left din, you know, still it's surprising. Walang 3 ang Meralco and yet it's a 13-point game.
Oo nga eh. Thinking about it, once that 3-point shot starts falling for Meralco, it's going to be a brand new ball game. But until then, mahirap ito. But it's all about defense. I really believe the defense is going to work here for Meralco if they hope to be able to stem the tide. And even the series, Meralco had a 21-point lead in game 1, but then they lost.
Heading the step-back jumper.
Oh, what a shot.
He is on one today.
21 points for Jordan Heading. Can't do anything wrong. He's also playing top defense.
Quinto. Nakalusot kay Oftana. Labas kay Cancino. 4 ang hahanapin. Still nothing for CJ. No hits from beyond the arc for Meralco still. Pogoy wants to work against Cancino. Posting up. RR races over CJ.
No problem on the isolation. RR Pogoy going one-on-one against CJ Cancino.
It's Black.
And that's an area that Cancino really needs to work on, ng kanyang depensa.
That's true.
He's got to be a total package, and he can be. Here's Aaron Black now trying to do what Pogoy did kanina, and he does.
Here it turns the favor.
Oh, that time against Jordan Heading.
So 10 points na rin yan para kay Black.
15 points is the lead. And here we go again. Pogoy against Cancino.
Oftana for 3.
Oh, yes. Oh, those big guns are on target in this game.
Hodge against BGR. Bigay kay Cancino. CJ gusto rin bumawi. Dadali niya rin sa ilalim. Si Pugoy iwan kay Almazan. Huli ni Galinato pero may foul kay BGR. At hinihingi ni Brandon na i-challenge ng kanyang coaching staff. Excellent adjustment para sa TNT. Finding Oftana for a 3-point shot na hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook.
And for TNT, that's at least 10 3-point shots scored in this game.
And Oftana now up to 23 points din. Pagkatapos nung 28 niya in Game 1. Baka malagpasan pa ni Calvin.
Cancino is being lifted.
I wanted to ask you about that. Are you seeing anything specific that TNT is doing para malimitahan yung opensa ni Cancino?
I think they're making him work hard on defense, that's for sure. And also they respect his outside shot. So dinidiktan nila. They're not giving him an opportunity to be able to find a beat at the basket, which is a good thing.
Ito, Meralco gets the stop. Can they convert? Yan yung laging tanong. Quinto puts it up. Wala. He was looking for the foul in that attempt.
It's been tough. Now this lead is ballooned to 17. And Meralco can't get a break.
Pinakamalaking laman ng TNT was 18. Oftana. Na libre. Hits another one.
That's three-pointer number 11 for TNT. Nandun yung depensa on top of Calvin Oftana, but he still scored.
Pang-apat na yan ni Calvin. He has a game-high 26 points.
Now, he's a 42% three-point shooter, but in game number 1, he went only 1 out of 5. That's 25% for Calvin. But now, as you mentioned, apat na ang kanyang three-pointers.
This is one of them, a three-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook. And TNT has established a new biggest lead of this game. 20 puntos na ang lamang nila, 94-74 with 7 minutes left to play here in the fourth. Let's focus on the starters of TNT for a bit. 26 points para kay Calvin Oftana, 21 kay Jordan Heading, may 12 from Kelly Williams, 11 from BGR as we take a look at PBA chairman, Mr. Ricky Vargas. Of course, governor of the TNT Tropang 5G. I'm sure he is proud of what he's seeing from his boys right now.
For sure. Dr. Rafi Bahar also beside him, enjoying this action as TNT looking to open up a 2-0 series lead over Meralco. Also want to say maraming salamat and happy viewing to NLEX PBA Governor Ronald Dulatre, who's watching us on TV. There's a 4-point shot coming from Chris Newsom, and he was fouled. Could be a landing spot.
Yeah. Mukhang yun yung sisilipin nila.
But that'll be 4 free throws coming up for Chris Newsom. And, you know, just mentioning Governor Dulatre, I want to be able to say thank you to him and for all those who have donated cash and goods to our annual Christmas contest. It's a regular foul, no landing spot, but there is a foul. Yung annual Christmas contest natin, we now call it Pasko sa Enero. We've been doing that in our Philippine Star column for over 25 years, Jat. And
wow, that's a long time.
yeah, we generate thousands of entries from all over the country. And in this edition, we had entries from Palawan, from Davao. In fact, our first prize winner is someone from Davao who's flying over for the awarding of prizes on Sunday. That's 10 a.m. at the Starbucks Monito Alabang. 20 winners will be getting their cash and their prizes. And thank you for everyone who supported our contest through the years.
Nusa missing that free throw. And then, ito yung first points ng Meralco na nakukuha nila technically, from beyond the arc. Dahil na-foul si Nusam shooting a 4.
Nusam with 15 points. Oh, wow. But he missed another free throw.
Ito susubok na 3. Nahuli yun. Sapal ni Oftana. You know, the only starter ng TNT na hindi double figures, si Gio Halalon. Because he's only played 9.5 minutes.
That's right.
It seems like, Dina, yung role niya, paguri mo yan, mga yan, sa simula. Ubusin mo yung energy nila until Pogoy comes in and does his thing.
Or also because malalaki yung mga gwardya ng Meralco. And so Coach Shot Reyes is seeing that every time Gio Halalon is on the floor, they'll just post him up time and again. But you know, he does many other things on the floor, especially in terms of pressure defense.
And Pogoy will miss that time. Rebound makukuha ni Hodge. Forward pass to the wrong man.
Makuha ni Dambatak. Even thinks like that, not going the way of Meralco as they gave up another possession.
You can also sense a little bit of desperation na rin sa side ng Bolts. Down by 18 with 6 minutes left.
Yeah, they just couldn't make any headway. And here's going to be a foul against Meralco. 6 minutes to go, but the lead is 18.
And it has been a masterful performance para sa TNT. Hindi lang sa opensa. I mean, of course, we have to talk about offense. 94 points na sila with 6 minutes left. But also their defense, Dean. Galinato sa ilalim.
And he will score.
How Nambatak found Galinato, we will never find out.
And you see that determination in the look of Galinato. You know, you like to see a player play with that kind of intensity. High level.
Hodge wasn't able to control it. Rios, another miss from downtown para sa Meralco.
And Kelly Williams inhaling that rebound. What a game he has played. And by the way, as we greeted PBA NLEX Governor Ronald Dulatre, we also want to greet NLEX team manager Virgil Villavicencio, who's also watching us on TV. And ang message ni Coach Virgil Villavicencio, animal sal.
Salamat po sa pagtutok. Dito sa RPTV, of course, hatid namin sa inyo ang PBA Semifinals, pati sa Finals. Hanggang dulo, magkakasama tayo dito.
And some big adjustments have to be made here by Meralco. Now, we're not giving up the fight yet, but it's a 20-point lead, and we got to be realistic. Some big changes have to be made here by Meralco if they want to make a series out of this.
Ito na nga.
Three-pointer, wala pa.
Hinahanap na talaga nila yung tira sa labas because that's what's gonna get them back. Pero Dean, we have to, allow me to correct myself lang. Meron nga palang 4-point shot kanina si Rayson. So they did hit from beyond the arc. Walang three-pointer.
Si Rayson nga hit a 4-pointer earlier. Nambatak, he's gonna score!
Oh, he's so good at that. Yung aatake, sabay titigil, creating space. Amazan sends it over to Nusam. Meralco not ready to give up yet as Nusam Nagawa ng paraan, bank that in, may free throw pang kasunod. As Enciso was called for that foul. Still, the lead of TNT is 20 at hihingi muna ng timeout ang Meralco bago tumira ng free throw si Nusa. TNT Tropang 5G. They won in OT against Meralco in the elimination round at humabol din sila Dina from down 23. They won in overtime. Tapos nung game 1 naman, binanggit mo nga to, down from 21 naman, nakabalik pa rin.
This is another one of those never say die teams. And TNT coming back from big deficits to beat Meralco twice, but in this particular game, game number 2, sa seryeng TNT versus Meralco, it's been TNT all the way.
Eh dito sabi ng TNT, subukan naman natin yung tayo yung lamang mula simula hanggang dulo. They've been great with comebacks, but you know, sometimes mas hindi nakakapagod, mas may pahinga tayo.
Sa umpisa ng ating coverage, Jat, pinag-usapan natin yung coaching ability ng two teams. And we mentioned the kind of coaching that Coach Chot Reyes showed in game number 1. Yung mga adjustments niya. And I think in game number 2, the same thing. Varying his offensive options, going to the long ball, unlike in game number 1, and catching Meralco off guard. And that's the whole key of coaching. You gotta have different schemes, both offensive and defensive, to catch your opponent off guard and napping. And it's been a great battle of wits so far, and Coach Chot Reyes now looking to make this a 2-0 series lead.
And doon ka matatakot dito sa TNT because they just take what the defense gives them. Binigay yung yung inside in game 1. All right. They said, okay, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Tapos ngayon naman game 2. You know, repeatedly, naiwan sa labas mag-isa si Kelly Williams. Kelly said, okay, I'm gonna hit these threes.
Well, they certainly were on fire from the outside. Rayson missing. Kevin Ferrer is in the ball game, just getting a rebound. At kaninas Galinato scoring from the inside. You know the fire that Galinato has shown is something you want from every player.
Dean Heading isn't done yet.
Oh yeah. Nakaka-24 points yata si Heading.
That's right. And in a barrage of ways. Diba yung unang-una, siya yung first 2 points of the game, attacking the inside. And Ciso just missing that one.
But he gets the offensive rebound. And another chance for TNT to score.
And a bump from Cancino. Natawa na lang doon si Jordan Heading. Look at him here. They sagged on him and Heading hit that 3. Again, just took what the defense gave him.
And this was a clinic. Ang ginawa dito ng TNT. A clinic that they conducted from start to finish, attacking from the inside. And then when Meralco's defense adjusted, TNT went outside. And right now, I think they've got 12 3-point shots. And almost a 4-pointer coming from Kevin Ferrer.
Do you think inabot din ng pagod ang Meralco? I mean, they juggle the PBA and the EASL. Or do you think that's a non-factor in their situation right now?
Hindi naman siguro. I think Meralco is very capable. I think they're well-conditioned. You know, they can play EASL and looks like they're going to be playing in the BCL as well. yung FIBA Basketball Champions League. And then they're going to be playing in that quote-unquote fourth conference ng PBA, yung pocket tournament that will involve some international teams during the break for the Asian Games. So we're going to see a lot of Meralco, and these guys are capable of winning. They showed that in the first 2 games against TNT when they had those 20-point leads. Consistency kailangan, also sustainability. You need to be able to get points from their second and third units.
Yun nga eh, parang hirap sabihing pagod, fatigued if they were up by 21 in game 1, right? But etong TNT ngayon, just there was very little that they did wrong here in game 2.
Well, talking about not doing anything wrong, yung tira kanina ni Poy Eram, just as he scored. I mean, that was almost a missed shot, but pumasok pa rin.
And you know what? I like the move of Coach Luigi Trillo here. Iniwan niya itong si CJ Cancino to try and get a feel of this TNT defense. Maybe see that ball go through the hoop. That could do wonders for them in the series moving forward.
I think it's important that the coach shows trust, faith, and confidence in his players. And for Cancino, who entered the semifinals as the leading scorer in Meralco, to struggle as he's been struggling here in this series, it's important that Coach Luigi says, that's okay. You got to be able to, ride the peaks and valleys, and you'll come on stronger.
And the most glaring number siguro para sa Meralco dito sa laro to is 0 for 12 from 3-point range.
Yeah.
I mean, alam naman natin ang modern basketball at kung gaano ka-importante ang tres. So while it doesn't necessarily have to be your primary weapon, kailangan mo yung tirang yun to mix it up, make the defense move a little bit.
Right. Here's Kevin Ferrer getting fouled by Toto Jose, who just scored for Meralco off a great pass coming from Kurt Rayson. Rayson has tremendous potential. We followed his career all the way from Letran in the NCAA to the MPBL. This guy is a gamer.
Tyrus Hill, pinasok na rin dito ni Coach Chot along with Mike Nieto. So Coach Chot has emptied his bench dito sa Game 2, and TNT is about to go up 2-0 dito sa best of 7 semifinals. And
look at Cancino. Oh, look at that. Tyrus Hill just checking in. He scored in a putback.
And yung average ni Tyrus Hill, 2 points in 10 seconds.
Oh! There's the first three-pointer scored by Meralco. And we were just talking about Kurt Rayson.
He's the only one who hit from beyond the arc.
Yes.
Isang 3, isang 4. Ferrer wanted to get on the box scores pero hindi pumasok yung tirang yun. Rayson 4 naman, hahanapin niya yun.
And he gets it again!
And he's telling his coaching staff, sana pinasok niyo kung mas maaga.
This guy's got 11 points. Kurt Rayson is in double figures with 2 4-pointers and a 3-pointer.
40 seconds left. It's the final score we're waiting for as Hauren adds to the lead of TNT. Din, Meralco, saan sila magsisimula in preparing for not just Game 3 but the rest of this series, down 0-2.
Here comes Rayson. He's trying to score again. I think it's about defense. I thought TNT played excellent defense, holding Meralco here to 92 points. I think they have to find a way to play consistent defense, both inside and outside, get better production and more efficiency from the second and third units. And this is not going to be a sweep by TNT, although it's looking that way, the way Coach Chot Reyes has mastered Meralco. Pero may laban pa to. I think Bolts can come back. They've got the capability to do that. And we'll see what they can do in game number 3.
And the official final score is 109-92. TNT goes up 2-0 in this series. And ating Babat player of the game is brought to you by The Van. Enjoy unforgettable TV Babat moments with your family, only with The Van. Jordan Heading, siya nagsimula, siya rin tumapos din.
Heading was Mr. Consistency sa laro. Outside, inside, playing top defense, passing. Certainly well-deserved honor para sa kanya to be our best player of the game. Solid na solid, Jordan Heading.
They win by 17 pero plus 26 si Heading in this game. 109-92 nga po ang ating final score. TNT goes up 2-0 dito sa semifinals against Meralco. That will do it for us. For my partner, the Dean Quinito Henson and Eileen Chi. Well, before we let you go, tingnan muna natin of course yung ating PBA sked. So, meron din tayo kasing mga Game 3 coming up. Yung kabilang side, tabla yung seri doon. And that's gonna be the second game. Pero syempre, etong Game 3 rin, susubukan ng Meralco to get one on the board.
That's right. TNT 2-0 ang labang nila in that series. And they're going to be playing the first game. That will be on Friday sa Smart Araneta Coliseum.
And again, we bid you goodbye from my partners, the Dean Quinito Henson and Eileen Chi, para po sa aming incredible production and technical teams helping us bring you the action of the PBA. My name is John Sudit, thanking you sa patuloy ninyong pagsuporta sa PBA in its golden season. We'll catch you next time for more of your PBA semifinals.
Final score of 109-92, the TNT Tropang 5G take game 2 of this best of 7 semifinal series, and I'm joined with our best player of the game, Jordan Heading. 24 points, 9 of 16 from the field, and a plus 26. Jordan, congratulations. You know, you opened this game with the first 2 points for TNT, and this was also an improved performance compared to game number 1. What did you do differently, you know, tonight to be more consistent in all those 4 quarters?
Yeah, I mean, I think at about halftime last game, Coach Joe Last kind of challenged me just to be a little bit more aggressive. You know, I thought Meralco did a very good job on me, you know, kind of just limiting my touches. And they did it again tonight, but, you know, just trying to stay aggressive and just do what my coaches tell me to do.
Jordan, this is just game 2 of this best of 7 semifinal series. How do you plan to keep that energy going and that performance consistent to get to make it forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's just taking every game one step at a time, 1 quarter at a time, and just keeping our eyes on the prize and not getting ahead of ourselves. You know, this is a really, really good team. You know, they won a championship not too long ago. So this series is absolutely in no way like, you know, we're not taking a step back. We're going to keep going.
All right, Jordan, now this is your time to greet everyone, your friends and family.
Yeah, to everyone that's supporting, that's watching, thank you so much for all the love, for all the support. We need it going forward, but thank you so much. Let's keep it going.
Once again, our best player of the game, Jordan Heading. Now let's turn it over to the post-game press conference with our winning coach.
Good evening and welcome to our post-game press conference. Congratulations, Coach Chot Reyes. Coach, better start today, leading 29-19 from the get-go. What can you attribute to this and the 3-point shots finally falling for TNT?
Well, you hit it right on the head. We wrote in the board at the very top of our board today was just the word better. We wanted to be better than the first half of the last game. We wanted to be better than the entire game of the last game. And that's simply our thinking and our mentality coming into this ball game. Better defense, better rebounding, better execution, better effort, better communication. So I think we did a good job of coming out better today than we did the last game.
It's game 2 of the semifinals between TNT and Meralco. Lamang ang TNT entering this game 1-0 in the series, and Jordan Heading started like a house on fire.
Well, he had 9 points in that opening quarter, attacking inside, shooting from the outside. Ito naman, yung roll to the basket, and Cliff Hodge getting the pass from Chris Newsom. Calvin Oftana was just super. So consistent. Ito yung step back niya against Raymond Almazan. No problem. TNT opening up a 10-point lead at the end of the first quarter.
Game 1 din, 3-3 lang ang TNT buong laro. In the first quarter of Game 2, 3-3 din agad ang tropang 5G. And in the second quarter, well, Jordan Heading, 4 naman ang hinanap niya dito.
Grabe yun. Well, Meralco eased off the defense because they probably thought, low percentage shot, hindi papasok.
And how about Kelly Williams? Not just 1, not 2 threes, but 3 threes in the second quarter alone.
Grabe, and he finished with 4 3-point shots in this contest. And what about that pass? Down the baseline, and an easy 2 points by Cliff Hodge. You give him up the baseline, he will attack, and he will score.
At dahil kay Hodge, kumakapit pa rin yung Meralco. 11 lang yung lamang ng TNT at the half. But in the third quarter, there was some life from Meralco, especially after this dunk by Quinto.
Quinto breaking away. Coach Chot Reyes not liking that sequence. He called an immediate timeout. No easy baskets daw, sabi ni Coach
Well,
Chot Reyes.
there was always a response from TNT every time Meralco had something going.
Yeah, and that energy of Henry Galinato was super. But Almazan with that one-handed slam dunk with the left hand.
Yun nga lang din, like we said, laging may sagot ang TNT.
And Calvin Oftana, siya naman ang sasagot dito. And look at this. A walk in the park. Left-handed layup. Calvin Oftana with the score.
9 more points in the third quarter alone para kay Calvin Oftana. And TNT is comfortably up by 16 entering the fourth. Umabot pa nga ng 24 yan dito sa fourth quarter.
And look at this shot of Calvin Oftana from 3, pulling up. And that's a conversion. Watch it again on slow-mo. Binangga siya ni Almazan. And then there was that help defense. But no problem. And Oftana connecting with that three-pointer.
Calvin Oftana finished Game 1 with 28 points. Dito sa Game 2, 26 naman ang inambag niya para sa TNT. He had a game high in terms of scoring.
Chris Newsom tried to do his utmost best to lift Meralco. And remember, he had that dislocated finger right in the very first minute of this game.
Buti nga nakabalik pa si Newsom, but tinutukan siya ng depensa ng TNT. Tapos si Heading naman, he was just hitting from everywhere, every single time.
Simple ball screen, tapos on the switch, hindi naman nag-close out hard enough si Raymond Almazan. And here we go.
Cantina already blocked that.
Yeah.
Pero pumasok
pa rin.
And Heading was spectacular here.
And that's what we were saying. TNT could do no wrong in this game as Coach Chot Reyes. That asserting his mastery over Meralco.
109-92 the final score for Game 2. TNT goes up in the series 2-0. And that was gonna be it for this offering on RPTV. Papasalamat po kami sa lahat ng tumutok ngayon. For my partner, Dadig Ginito Henson, for Eileen Shi, for our talented and hardworking production and technical teams. My name is Jot Sulit. Maraming salamat po. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagtutok ninyo dahil hatid namin sa inyo the rest of the Philippine Cup in the semifinals and the finals. Abangan nyo lang ang PBA Golden Season dito lang sa RPTV.